So viewers, the forces in Pulwama averted a major terror threat. Forces recovered huge quantities of explosives in a Santro car, which have now been destroyed by the combined BDDS team. JNK DGP Dilbagh Singh has also confirmed to Republic that the modus operandi was similar to that of Pulwama attack in 2019 as well. The DGP also stated that a Jaish and Lashkar role is suspected in the terror attempt as well. In fact, a two-member team of the NIA is also reaching the site as well. In fact, according to sources, this was a plan of the terrorists to repeat a Pulwama type of incident by carrying out either a suicide attack on the convoy of security forces or park the vehicle on the roadside to carry out an attack as well. Let's go across to my colleague Shravan Sen, who's also joining us live at this point. So Shravan, the forces in Pulwama have in a way averted a major threat and terror threat. Take us through the details of this entire operation.
Well, in fact, Richard, these are the details that we are piecing together after speaking to multiple sources within the Jammu Kashmir Police, the CRPF, as well as the Rashtriya Rifles. In fact, what we are picking up right now is that the Jammu Kashmir Police, in fact, had specific information about the movement of certain explosives on that particular route itself in Pulwama area. And that's when this particular information was shared with the CRPF. It was also shared with the Indian Army, and there was a Nakabandi that was put across various places in Pulwama itself. Now, as far as this vehicle is concerned, the details that we are picking up at this point in time, that this was a Santro car that was being driven by a Hizbul Mujahideen terrorist, and the moment this car actually reached near this Nakabandi, that's when the terrorists fled from the spot. But there was an initial exchange of fire, is what we are being told. Preliminary information that we have, Richard, is that it suggests that roughly about 50 to 60 kg of explosives were basically in the rear seat of this vehicle inside a drum, is what we are being told. Now, they suspect that perhaps there was a possibility that this explosive was being transported to another location. However, this is a preliminary report or a preliminary information that has been gathered by the security forces. It requires further investigation. In fact, the National Investigation Agency in all likelihood will also be joining the probe. We are being told that a two-member team would be reaching the spot where this incident actually took place. The terrorists fled from the spot the moment they saw that the Nakabandi was there. It was just 200 meters before the Nakabandi. That's when the terrorist actually fled from left the vehicle and fled from the spot. So important to point out here is that what the police is also indicating is that a Pulwama style attack was being planned. That's what has been averted by the police, the CRPF, as well as the Indian Army by nabbing this particular vehicle, which had explosive roughly about 50 to 60 kgs. That number could certainly go up, because right now it's at a preliminary stage where it is still being examined. In fact, the BDDS team has already destroyed the vehicle after examining this explosive.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Shravan. In fact, Shravan, another question for you. Shravan, as you were stating that this was a thorough investigation and as well as a probe that was on for several weeks now. Also, take our viewers through how efforts are now being on to identify the terrorists as well who were inside driving this particular vehicle. Any information on that? And we do know that there have been indications of Lashkar and Jaish suspected for this terror attempt.
Well, in fact, as far as search operations are concerned, to try and nab this terrorist who fled from the spot, remember, it is at this point in time, Richard, it would be a little premature to talk about the details of the operation itself, because we're given to understand that all efforts are now being made by the Jammu Kashmir Police as well as the other security forces to ensure that this terrorist is nabbed as soon as possible. Having said that, what we do know at this point in time, that yes, there have been certain searches that have already already been carried out by the police in the nearby areas. If they at all had an idea of the movement of the vehicle, trying to piece together where did the vehicle actually start from, where the origin of that's something that is being still being investigated by the police at this point in time. And where were they planning to go? Because they certainly suspect that the terrorists had a plan to go to another location. That is important to that is something that is important to find out at this point in time. And this is what the police has also been suggesting, that the investigation is still on. They have already carried out the search operation. But what we do know at this point in time, that yes, there was a plan to carry out a Pulwama style attack, one more attack, and that has been averted. Jaish as well as Hizbul Mujahideen, Lashkar-e-Toiba, remember, all three tanzims have been, they have been completely rattled in the last couple of months.
In fact, Shravas,